Hello guys, welcome back. This is my fuzzy friend today, my little lionfish. I'm not sure if he's going to stay there for very long, but we'll see how long he lasts. Okay, so where did we last leave off? Oh, that's right. We met Emma, who bought a whole island and bought all the cats around her and found out that she was allergic to cats. Then we met William, who was paranoid of anybody, and he gave his check to his mom and dad, but they ran away with his money. And then we met Sophia. And Sophia went and bought the entire Amazon rainforest, but got bitten by all of the mosquitoes and all the bugs out there and had hives and rashes and all kinds of bumps all over her. And then she spent all of her money and didn't have any more money. So now we are starting on chapter 7, and we are going to be introduced to Santiago. Here we go. Santiago didn't get a dime from Miss Linda's lottery winnings. That's what happens when you stay home sick. There's Santiago. And now we go to chapter 8. That was it on Santiago. Zemina. Chapter 8 is about Zemina. Every day on Zemina Zex's walk home from school, she stopped at the mall. She would high-five the florist, pick up some caramelos for her abuela, that's Spanish for grandma, and grab a new brochure at the travel agency. Caramelos, that was my grandmother's favorite candy too. Her family couldn't afford to travel, but Zemina liked getting lost in the pictures of faraway islands and famous landmarks. But not today. And there is a picture of Zemina and her abuela. Today, with her check for $1,037,037,037,037.04, Zemina ran home as fast as she could. She skipped her usual stop at the mall. The florist was ready to high-five her, but all he saw was a girl-shaped blur running by. His hand was raised, but left high-fiveless in the air. She never came. The owner of the sweets shop looked at her clock. She wondered if Zemina was sick. She always picked up caramelos for Abuela, but not today. Even the travel agent, who let Zemina take all the travel brochures she wanted, free of charge, was worried. The new Grand Canyon brochures weren't going to look at themselves. At that moment, on the other side of the tracks, in the poor side of town, Zemina bolted through the front door like an Olympic runner. "Papa, Mama, Abuela," Zemina said, out of breath. She held up her check. "You're not going to believe this." And they didn't. You see, the Zusa family had very little money. Mr. and Mrs. Zusa both worked 2 jobs and worked hard for every dollar. So they found it hard to believe their daughter could become an instant billionaire simply by showing up to school. "You're right, I don't believe it," said Mr. Zuma. He stared at the check. "Me neither," her mom said. She kept counting the commas. "Truly, mija," her abuela said from her bed. "I am so happy for you, mija. Now you can see the world, just like you've always wanted." "Will you come with me, abuela?" Zemina asked. "I wish I could, but no, I am too old and too tired, but you should go." Abuela was Zemina's best friend. She didn't want to see the world without her. But as Zemina stared at her collected travel brochures, she had an idea. If she couldn't take Abuela to see the world, then she would bring the world to Abuela. First, Zemina rented the Statue of Liberty. She had it airlifted from Liberty Island right to her driveway. Zemina thought it was much less green in person than in the brochures. Zemina repainted the statue electric pink and gave her a pair of bright yellow sunglasses. When she was returned to New York City, everyone seemed to like the new look. Zemina then rented Mount Rushmore. It was airlifted from South Dakota to her backyard. She agreed with the brochure that the monument was impressive, but she thought it needed something extra. So she hired a sculptor to chisel her abuela's face next to President Lincoln's. It was her abuela's idea to add a mustache and a mohawk. Zamina called the French government about renting the Eiffel Tower, but someone had already bought it. Zamina wondered if it was someone in her class. Zamina spent her fortune renting other famous landmarks. She rented the Great Sphinx from Egypt, the Great Wall of China from China, the Taj Mahal from India, and the Leaning Tower of Pisa from Italy. She even rented Big Ben from England. Though it was only temporary, the Queen was not pleased about it. Abuela loved everything that Zamina brought home for her to see, except for Stonehenge, which Abuela called just a bunch of rocks. When she ran out of money, when she ran out of enough money to rent new landmarks, Zamina had just enough left over to buy her abuela a brand new and very comfortable bed and a lifetime supply of Carmelos. Together they looked at new travel brochures. They didn't have a lot of money, but they had a lot of love, which, like the brochures, was free of charge. Chapter 9. Jaden Jason. Jaden Jason James, or Triple J, as some called him, was the most popular kid in the entire school. He had a standing invitation to sit at any table in the cafeteria. He was voted class president 4 times in a row in the same election. And he was always the first to be asked to study groups, sleepovers, and birthday parties. He was the closest thing to a celebrity classroom 13 had, but he never let fame go to his head. Triple J was a people pleaser and a genuinely nice person. If he missed someone's event, he felt terrible. And there is a picture, of Triple J. Whoops. See, there we go. Try that again. Okay. And since he was always asked to attend everything, and there was only one of him to go around, Triple J was exhausted all the time. He needed a break. So with his lottery winnings, he decided to clone himself. He held a press conference about it on the playground. Ava acted as his press secretary and pointed to kids in the crowd, one at a time, to ask questions. How many clones will there be? Tio asked. With the new clones, there'll be enough of me to go around, Triple J said. In the past, I know I've disappointed some of you because my schedule was overbooked. Soon, that will be a thing of the past. I hate missing events. Hands shot up again. Ava pointed to Deb, who asked, What do we call your clones? Will they have different names? And if so, can I name one? No different names, Triple J said. That's too confusing. We're numbering them. I'll be J1, and the first clone will be J2, and then J3, and so on. We have time for one more question, Ava said. Chloe shouted, Cloning is not ethically or morally sound. That's not a question, Ava said. Looks like that's all the time we have for today. No further questions. Thank you. Triple J hired the world's most brilliant scientists to clone him. This is immoral, one scientist said. It's dangerous, said another. How will you know who you are, said a third. Triple J handed them his money. The scientists suddenly changed their minds and got to work. The procedure was a success. Within days, there were 4 brand new perfect clones of Triple J. You might think 4 isn't very many, but clones are quite expensive. You could buy a space station for far less money. Triple J put a plan together. J2 would attend all academic events like study sessions, quiz bowls, mathlete meetings, and school play tryouts. J3 would handle all the athletic stuff like baseball, basketball, soccer, and of course, bobsledding. J4 would take care of all family responsibilities like birthdays, Sunday dinners, and movie nights. And J5, the 4th and final clone, would appear at all social gatherings like sleepovers, pizza parties, and recess. Triple J would never miss a single thing again. At least that was the plan. For one perfect week, the Triple J clones were everywhere at once. J5 attended games at Fatima's, while J3 was bobsledding with Mason. At the same time, J2 was studying with Sophia and Tio for their history test, just as J4 was settling in to watch movies with his family for movie night. Of course, the original Triple J, J1, wasn't at any of these events. People began to complain. They didn't want a clone. They wanted the famous original Jaden, Jason, James. They wanted the real deal. Triple J was frustrated, but he wanted everyone to be happy. Triple J decided to go back to the way things were before. He would be tired, but at least everyone would be happy. Triple J held a press conference about it on the playground. Tio acted as his press secretary and pointed to kids in the crowd, one at a time, to ask questions. "Why are you giving up on your clone plan?" Ava asked. "I want everyone to be happy," Triple J said. Hands shot up again. Tio pointed to Deb, who asked, "What happened to your clones?" "I sent them to live on a farm," Triple J said. "But instead, they ran away and joined the circus. Don't worry, they're all very happy." "We have time for one more question," Tio said. Chloe shouted, "I told you cloning is not ethical or morally sound." "That's not a question," Tio said. "Looks like that's all the time we have for today. No further questions. Thank you." After that, the famous Triple J was back. Everyone was happy to have the real Triple J, not some second-hand clone. Then again, how would they know the difference? Clones are the exact same in every way. They look the same, they talk the same, they even pass gas the same. What if the real Triple J was the one that ran away to the circus? Strangely enough, some of the students of Classroom 13 have wondered the exact same thing. I've told them just to ask Triple J the next time they see him on the basketball court, or at the spelling bee, or in the kitchen making popcorn for family movie night, or at the mall with friends, or hey, wait a second. Chapter 10. Whoops. Lily. Lily was a girl of few words. For instance, if you asked her how her weekend was, she would likely grunt, "Fine," or "Cool," or "Meh." And if you asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up, she'd answer, "Astronaut." She wanted to go into space and explore the stars. There's a picture of Lily. According to her dad, her first spoken word was NASA. He thought it was rather cute because he thought baby Lily was mispronouncing Dada. But no, she was really saying NASA. When Miss Linda informed the class they were going to become billionaires, the other students talked a mile a minute about stuff they were going to purchase or things they were going to do. Lily only looked at her check and said, "NASA." So Lily bought NASA. Yes, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration is now owned by Lily Lynn from Classroom 13. Lily's been tight-lipped, no surprise there, about the new rocket she has them building for her. I've heard construction will be finished in about 20 years, but if you ask Lily when it'll be ready for blast-off, she just says, "Soon." All right, so that's 4 more students that we learned about. So tomorrow, when we come back, we're going to learn about Jacob. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.